Post-it note illustration of a Masters of the Universe character, because Masters of the Universe Revelation premieres on Netflix this weekend, and I'm very excited about that. I'm really looking forward to the new cartoon. I'll even have my Skeletor retro play action figure with me when I tune in. So I thought for San Diego Comic-Con at Home weekend, here it is, 2021, San Diego Comic-Con at Home, we do a series of Post-it notes. I'll try to broadcast or do a live stream each day of San Diego Comic-Con at Home this weekend. I'm not sure if I should be able to do one tomorrow. Maybe I can do one Saturday. It all depends. So stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel. So let's flip the camera around. Let's get to drawing. We can continue to chat while I draw. Just plug into the rig here. Pardon me, gang. All right, there we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome. So glad you're here. So good to be back and doing some live streams here amidst my crazy work schedule. Hopefully y'all have had a chance to see some of the comic books I've been drawing that have come out recently, like Stargirl Spring Break Special and X-Men Legends #5, which came out yesterday, starring the 1990s era X-Factor. So for this Post-it note, I got kind of this kind of bluish gray, would call this a slate colored Post-it note. I'm going to draw He-Man. I figured if we're going to do a series of Masters of the Universe Post-it notes, let's start with the guy that kind of started this all. The first character of the Masters of the Universe line, which debuted back in 1992, or 1982, excuse me, 1982. Had 90s on the brain because I mentioned the 90s era X-Factor just a second ago. 1982, so I think I was in 6th grade, 5th or 6th grade when this toy line came out. I remember those first commercials. It was like, oh my gosh, what are these guys? I'll do my best to respond to your comments and questions while I draw, so feel free to, post here on the live stream, or if you're watching this in replay, feel free to post a comment as you watch. But I'll try to reply to any live stream questions as I draw, but I can't promise I can respond to them all, unfortunately, but I'll try to respond to as many as I can while I draw. So right now, just doing the basic structure of He-Man's head, keeping in mind he has a very wide set jaw, a very strong jaw. So I want to reflect that. It's got my eye line, nose line, mouth line. Split the head in half here to put one of each on each side, like eyes, nostrils, ears. Even though we won't see his ears because of his hairstyle, I like to put the ears in, just roughed in, just so I know where they are. It just helps me as I construct the head to know where everything is, whether I see it or not. I'm not going to put full detail in the ears because, like I said, the hair is going to cover up those ears. So we don't need to fully render them because the hair will cover it up. So why waste the time? But just throwing in just that basic shape helps me know how far his hair needs to go to cover over those ears. So I always like to, I call it drawing through. Like if you play sports, you have that follow through when you throw the ball, you give your arm all the way through the throw, and it helps the overall throw of the ball when you do that follow through. It's kind of like that with drawing, I think. It's drawing all the way through, even though you won't see the thing, you know where it is, and you have more accuracy. Will I be going to New York Comic Con? Not this year, unfortunately, no. I'm so sad that I have to miss it this year. Just too much going on. Due to my work schedule, and unfortunately I can't hit New York Comic Con this year. One of my favorite cons of the year. If I can, maybe I'll try to do some New York Comic Con weekend live streams from my home studio, like we're doing San Diego Comic Con at Home. Yeah, we'll not be at New York this year. Hopefully I'll be back for 2022. Do love coming out to New York City because it's so different than Southern California where I'm at. I'm here in Southern California. Got his neck muscles, big muscular neck. Get his shoulders roughed in here. We'll kind of see a part of his harness, each side of the harness. We'll put the little red square things like that. And I'm going to have to get to his hair here pretty soon, his iconic hairstyle. So I was studying some He-Man photos this morning for reference, looking at the classic Filmation cartoon. Let's see, the original action figure, the Netflix version coming out on Netflix tomorrow, and so it just kind of studying the aspects of He-Man to kind of get those details down. What are the commonalities of the designs? What are the hallmarks of He-Man? And so I could use that information to inform how I draw He-Man, my version of He-Man. And I like the kind of the action figure, the original action figure kind of had very chunky pieces to his hair, the way they sculpted it, which I really liked. Like there was like in his bangs, there was a chunky piece of hair. This best word, I guess that's the only word I can find. So much brain power is going into structuring out this He-Man. I can't think of any other words. So we got the ears covered up, and the slope of the hair coming off the top of the head and down. Did I read Daniel Warren Johnson's Beta Ray Bill? Not yet. I'm a big Beta Ray Bill fan from the Walter Simonson Thor days. Back in the 80s, loved that run of Thor. Walter Simonson's one of my all-time favorite artists. And but I know that Beta Ray Bill has a new miniseries, but I have not had a chance to read it yet. A lot of people ask what tools I use. I'm sketching with Uni Kuratoga 0.3 HB lead mechanical pencil, and this is just a Enoch click eraser. Got both of these at jetpens.com. This is not a sponsorship for JetPens. That's just letting you guys know that's where I bought my pens, in case you are interested in buying these. Just clicking out some more lead here. Start to add some more details here. Try to get the eyes a little more detailed. And then we'll be moving to inks here in just a moment. Start to get the pupils in there. Toys That Made Us. I love the Toys That Made Us documentary series. I'm like on my 6th time watching that that series. Just rewatched the Masters of the Universe and Star Wars episodes just last week. I put it on now and again while I'm drawing. I've seen it so many times. I just like to listen to it. Really great narrator on that documentary series. If you have Netflix, make sure you watch the Toys That Made Us. They've got 12 episodes. Yeah, it's a really good, really fun documentary series. Really interesting to hear the backstories to all these properties. Will I be doing black lines or colored lines like I had done for the Stargirl one? I'm going to do colored lines. Great question. I plan on doing colored lines. So I'm going to use brown lines for the hair and the skin, and then like black lines for the harness, maybe red lines for the little red shot there. The red squares, I should say. Just making some adjustments here, making sure everything fits the way I want it to. Let's get some cheekbones going. My Stargirl comic this year was Next Level. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad you enjoyed what I did there. That was real. I've been a fan of the Stargirl characters since she debuted back in the, was it 99, 2000? She had her first series, and then she became part of the JSA and stuff. I've always enjoyed that character. All right, just double checking my shapes here. It's like they say in construction, measure twice, cut once. Because I can correct any problem here in pencils a lot easier than I can in inks. X-Men Legends 5 was awesome, by the way. Thank you. Thank you for reading X-Men Legends. Issues 5 and 6 is a 2-issue arc I'm doing, written by Peter David, who wrote the original all new, all different X Factor. So he's returning to these characters he made very popular in the early 90s, back when I was still a wannabe, an art student dreaming of being a professional comic book artist. And Peter David and I did the Young Justice series together back in 98 to 2003. So it's fun. It's always fun for me to team up with Peter David. Great writer, great friend. He and his wife and daughters, it's always a pleasure to see them at conventions. Really, really sweet people. You got both my puzzle covers. Yes, that was really fun for the X Factor, or the X-Men Legends issue. I did the original cover, and we made a special variant of the puzzle pieces. Peter David seems like a cool guy. Yes, he is a cool guy. Very smart, very funny. Love working off of his scripts. All right, I think I got enough information down here that I can now move on to the inks. Actually, I want to make sure this neck is wide enough. He is a master of the universe. Now, do y'all know, for those of you that watched the Masters of the Universe Toys That Made Us episode, you'll probably know the answer to this. Do you know what they were originally going to call this toy line before they settled on Masters of the Universe? Does anyone know that? This is just a question for fun. Does anyone know the original name for the Masters of the Universe line? Am I going to be doing any other interiors in the near future? Well, make sure you look for X-Men Legends issue number 6 next month. Lords of Power is correct. Yes, Crash Opossum, that is correct. The Lords of Power was going to be the original name of the toy line. Just adjusting the eyes here. Make sure it lines up a little bit better. Just to make sure everything fits. I want to make sure I'm happy with my structure here. Have I drawn the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I've drawn them for commissions or for fun, and I did a Ninja Turtle cover for the Hero Initiative 100 project. They did a Ninja Turtles 100 project to raise money for the Hero Initiative. I drew one of those covers, but that's it. I've never gotten a chance to draw for the Ninja Turtle comic book series, but maybe someday. Maybe someday. All right, just want to get the right emotion in the eyes. Favorite Ninja Turtle? It always changes. It always changes. I started off as a Raphael fan, then I became a Michelangelo fan. More recently, I think I'm more into Donatello, but I like Leonardo. I mean, it's hard to say. I guess after all these years, I'm a fan of all of them. They're kind of like all my favorite turtles for different reasons. All right, let's move into inking. I'm going to use my Pigma Micron pens. Going to start with a 0.5 here, and I'm using the brown for this kind of color hold effect. Kind of give it that animated line quality look. I'm going to start with the bangs of his hair since they overlap. You thought Freddie Williams did the Batman Ninja Turtle comic. I believe he did. I believe you are right. His work is incredible. Love Freddie's work. So there's that one chunky piece of hair like in the original 82 action figure. I just always thought that was just a nice little touch there in the sculpt of the hair. It really gave it, just that one little chunk gave it so much definition to his head. It was in fact, let me pull up I'm gonna pull up the reference here so you can see. See right there, he's got that one little chunk of hair. Just always thought that was just that one little bit just gave so much to the look of the character there for the toy. I wish I still had my original He-Man action figure. See, there was a question there about colored lines. What was? Let's see if I. See, what is the process for using colored lines for the different parts? The process for me is whatever is in front or on top is the color you use. So since I'm using brown for both his hair and his skin tone, most of this will be brown, but when I get to his harness, because the harness is over his skin, I switch to black. And then the red of squares of his harness are on top of the harness, then I use red for the square. So whatever is in front or on top is the color you use if it overlaps something of a different color. That's just kind of my general rule of thumb. Was I more of a He-Man fan or a fan of Thundar the Barbarian? Well, it's kind of hard for me to say because my experiences with the two properties are so vastly different. As a kid, I was able to watch the Thundar cartoon because it aired on ABC network on Saturday mornings, so it was always available to me. So I got to watch that cartoon. For me, He-Man I only knew him as an action figure line. Where I lived at the time in East Texas, we did not get the channel, the Dallas channel, because I lived just outside of Dallas. We did not get the channel that showed the He-Man cartoon. So I never got to watch the 80s cartoon as a kid growing up. So I knew the two properties in two different ways. So I knew the story of Thundar a bit better than He-Man, aside from the He-Man mini comics that would come with each action figure, which were great mini comics. I think that was kind of, I guess some of the comics I read before I became a comic collector, because I didn't start collecting comics till 8th grade. Yeah, I just didn't get to experience the cartoon until actually I'd see a random episode here and there, but it wasn't until you know, the streaming services where you had access to you know, all these cartoons in different platforms, you know, whether it be Netflix or Amazon Prime, etc. So I can't really, I don't know, I liked them both. I guess this is my ultimate answer there, because of I like them for different reasons. I wish they'd made a toy line of Thunder the Barbarian. I think that would have been cool. They made a toy line of Warlord, the DC comic Warlord, which was kind of a Remco knockoff of the He-Man figures. They were kind of the same shape and build. Have I ever thought of delving into animation? I had, yes, I had. I'd actually met with Cartoon Network back in the early 2000s after I'd finished my run on Young Justice. Had talked to them about some animation stuff, but I have such a love for comic books that I decided I did not want to move into animation at that time, because I'd rather continue drawing comic book stories. That was where my deepest, truest passion was, and still continues to be. I still love cartoons, I still love animation, but as far as what I want to create, right now it's still comic books. So not ready to make a career change into animation. Have I met Tom Bancroft? Really great artist. Yes, I met Tom and his brother Tony. I follow them on Instagram. Great guys, great animators, very knowledgeable, and really just really cool guys. Absolutely. Great artists, great guys. All right, now we're gonna switch. Now I got the main structure of the hair, the jawline, the neck. I'm gonna switch. Right now I'm gonna just finish the harness here. I'm gonna take some black to represent the gray. And we will be taking this to full color with Copic markers. So stay tuned for that. We're not far away. And then let's see, I needed my red marker, or red inking pen here. Go ahead and put the red squares on his harness. So let's see, now we move into the face. I think someone asked, will I be doing a giveaway? I will not be doing a giveaway this year. So I won't be doing any giveaways, unfortunately. Let's see, so got the brown micron. Uh-oh, don't like the, did I throw away the wrong micron? Or is this new one not even good? Let's see. We'll just use my 01. Either I broke out a new 01, but I think when I went to throw away the old one, I might have thrown away the new one. So we'll use the 005 here. We'll start with the nose. Am I accepting any commission work as of now? No, unfortunately, I'm not able to take on any new commissions at this time. Last year, when the industry went on pause, and the comic book series I was working on, the Gwen Stacy series, put on pause, I sorry, I just realized something here. So this whole time I thought I was using so there's a brown and I have a dark red. And the colors are kind of somewhat similar. If you look at them separately, this looks kind of brown. Unless you put it next to a brown, then you realize it's dark red. So I've been using dark red on He-Man this whole time, which is okay. But I'm just going to go over these brown lines with this dark red. Because once we start putting in the Copic color, it'll really, it'll become more of the focus. Yeah, so this is a little bit of a snafu / surprise to me. I need to make sure I don't grab the wrong colored markers when I'm intending to use a different colored marker. So that's just, or inking pen. So that's just kind of, it was a little bit of a funny surprise to me. So it still works, it still plays, the colors will still mesh. It's just I don't want to use brown because it will then look different from the rest of his face. And I want to maintain that consistency. So some people say, what do you do when you discover you've made a mistake? Especially when inking, you just roll with it. You just find a way to this is one of those situations where I can keep trucking along and it's still going to work out the way I was intending. Not exactly the way I was intending, because it's technically not traditional brown, but it will in the overall finished product it'll all still play. So that just kind of threw me off there. So yeah, back during the pandemic, I was doing a lot of stay-at-home con commissions. I did, I think, 3 waves of that amongst my regular official studio list commissions, which that list is closed. So I won't be taking on any stay-at-home con commissions for a while, mainly because of my workload, and any commissions I am able to do will be from that official closed list, trying to get that list finished off so I can open up for new waves of larger option commissions, if that makes sense. So ultimately, this whole long message here was to say, no, currently not taking on any new commissions. But thank you for asking. Just stay tuned to my website, toddnauck.com, and my social media. And when I can open for new commissions, I will be posting about that on my website and social media. Now I've switched to the 01 black for his eyelid and eyebrows. You enjoyed my Post-it Pop Art morning show at the beginning of the pandemic. Yeah, that was fun to do. I think I did did maybe 40? Was it close to, no, not 40. I guess I did it for about 5 weeks every morning for five weeks or 6 weeks. And then it switched to like a few times a week, and then the industry went off of pause and Marvel started giving me more work, and then DC started giving me work, and I couldn't live stream as much. And then it's been just so much work, which is great, but it keeps me from doing live streams as frequently as I was last year when the pandemic started. Let's see, where is that burgundy marker? Are these going to be in a gallery somewhere? When I draw a Post-it note and post it to my social media, usually they end up selling right away. So whenever you see me post one of these, first email into me at mail@wildguard.com gets first shot at buying. So pretty much all my Post-it notes are in someone's home. I've done tons of Post-it notes. You can see them. You can see a gallery of them, like well, the Facebook fan page. The app has changed, or at least on my phone, so I can't add them all to the folder I had originally created years ago. But I think there's over 300 Post-it notes in a dedicated album, and now there's even more that I can't put into the album. But you can kind of see the evolution of my Post-it note art over there on the Art of Todd Nauck Facebook page. And I'll have a link to that and all my social media in the video description below after the live stream. I'll go in and edit in the links. I'll go in and edit and add the links. So now I'm using a blue micron here for his the irises of his eyes. And now a little black here for the pupil, right there in the center. Do I still have time to draw for myself? Have I shared any such drawings? Occasionally. Occasionally I have time to draw for myself. Go to my Instagram page and you can see a Spider-Man 2099 illustration I did that was purely for fun. All right, so I'm just going to give this just a second here to dry, and then I'll come in and erase. You love your Frankenberry Post-it. Oh yeah, I remember when I did those Monster Cereal Post-its last year for New York Comic Con. Ah, thanks for giving Frankenberry a good home. So let's see, actually, I'm just going to use, using a regular old plastic eraser, just lightly erasing here. Want to be very cautious to, one, not crinkle the paper. So I'm holding down, because Post-it notes, they flip like this. I'm holding it down so that when I pull up, I don't crinkle it up. Love them cheekbones. Oh yeah, He-Man, he would be, I mean, he is the Fabio of the planet Eternia. He is Eternia's Fabio. In fact, I think Fabio probably would be a fan of He-Man. In fact, they should get Fabio, or if they had done the He-Man, the Masters of the Universe cartoon, or as a movie in the 90s, could have totally gone with Fabio as the He-Man for that era. Dolph Lundgren was the actor who played He-Man in the 80s movie, which is on, I believe, Amazon Prime. Oh, and you have the Count Chocula one, right on. Oh, is anyone whoever has the Blueberry one, if you're here, feel free to shout out. You're always scared of smudging when you do this. Yes, that's a understandable and not uncommon fear or concern. It's from my experience is let it dry for like 15 minutes and you should be good. Sometimes it depends on the type of paper you're working on. Now this is absorbent paper, so it pulls the ink right into the paper. But if you're on like a slicker or more glossy surface, yeah, the ink is going to set on top of that and it's not going to absorb. So when you go to erase, it's going to smear. So be mindful of how slick or how absorbent is the surface that you are drawing on. All right, so let's start putting in some color. I'm going to start with some E00 as kind of like my base shade for his skin tone. And mind you, I'm coloring on a light grayish blue Post-it note here. So it's not going to be the same as coloring on white. It's not terribly far removed from white. In fact, this might almost look kind of white on your screen, but it is technically a colored paper. So it's going to look a little different. My approach is going to be a little bit different than if I were coloring on white paper. Just kind of lightly just throwing in some the color for the shapes and angles of his face and shoulders, neck, etc. Keeping in mind the light source coming pretty much from above. Is that a warm gray or a peachy orange? It is E00, which is called Cotton Pearl over at Copic. Now I'm using a E01 for a little bit of a darker shade. Not necessarily my shadow shade or official shadow shade. I will be coming in with some cool grays and a little bit to add some shadow. It's like some more realistic shadow. This is just kind of like just kind of sculpting in different shades of color here. So I am considering where the darker areas would be based on shadow, but not necessarily the sole shadow shade, the only shadow shade. I'm going to come in with an even lighter shade of the E family, E000, to blend in towards the parts I left more open. Now it looks kind of weird right now, but when the color dries, it's all going to blend together here in just a moment. So if it looks kind of gray right now, once the color dries, it should all kind of make the kind of light skin tone of He-Man. How long am I streaming for today? Until I finish this illustration. So could be at least another 20 minutes. Now I'm coming with a little R20. Start to add some color to his nose. A little bit on the bottom lip. A little bit to the upper lip. A little bit here on the cheeks. A little bit there on the Adam's apple. A little bit here under the eyes. You'd buy this as is. It looks great. Well, great. I can stop. Thanks so much for tuning in, gang. I'll just go ahead and shop. I'm just joking. I'm not going to end the live stream. Thank you for the compliment. I am just going to go ahead and just finish all the colors, though. But I'm glad you like it, even if I were to stop as is. That's very kind of you to say. I take that as a compliment. Here's coming in with some R11. It's kind of a different shade of light pink. Sculpt a little bit more towards the cheeks. Lip and a little bit here on the chin. So if you look at our skin, it's no matter what our ethnicity or background, there's going to be slight variations in color to our skin. Especially a lighter skinned person, you're going to see all different shades of peaches and pinks and stuff, depending on how the light's hitting it, how the blood flows underneath our skin. So I'm trying to kind of keep that in mind as I sculpt He-Man here. I'm realizing I want a little more of that E000. Just kind of fill in that area a little bit. Some painters use a lot of purples and greens when painting skin. Yeah, painting is a kind of a different approach, I think, than the microns. I've seen that. It's very interesting. I've studied some of that from some YouTube artists, like digital painting, and it's interesting to see how the approach with paint can be similar and different to working with markers, just because of the way the different media lies down on the canvas. All right, so I think, you know what, I want to pump up. See, that's the nice thing about Copics is you can layer in the color. So as it dries, you can kind of make some choices. So going back to my original E00, I just want to bring out a little more vibrancy in the color. I want to add another layer just to give a little more punch to the color. It's like adding another coat to the wall. Coat of paint, not like your jacket. I mean, you could hang up as many jackets on your wall as you want, I guess. Depends on how much of the wall you want to see and how many of your jackets you want to hang out. But I'm referring to like a coat of paint on the wall. Go back to that R00. All right, so now let's throw in some hair color. So I'm going to start with hair, especially blonde hair. I like to work dark to light. So I'm going to start with some E84. It's kind of a khaki color, kind of a brownish yellow. It's a color I like to use in my collection to kind of start a blonde because it's a nice kind of darker shade. In fact, I'll throw some of this into his eyebrows there just to kind of fill them out. So starting with this brownish, either deep inside where the hair, it connects to his head, just going to kind of point to it here with the tip of the marker. The light's not going to hit there as much, so it's going to be darker, so I'm going to put some more of that brown there. And then the light's kind of going to hit right up here and hit right there. And I can use this to start sculpting out the shapes. So that's level 1 for my blonde. These are just based on the colors currently I have in my collection that I use oftentimes as my go-tos. Next is Y21. You've probably seen me use these colors in other blonde characters I've colored here on my channel. Some Y21 going over the E84 and pulling further into that open area. See, the hair is getting a little bit lighter, a little more blonder. I actually have taken these colors to the patent office as my go-to blonde, so technically these are legally blonde. Feel free to groan. Yes, that was a dad joke. My apologies, but I'm sorry, not sorry. And then some E00. I had to find, I don't know, when I said blonder, it made me think of Dumb and Dumber, which made me think of, has nothing to do with blonde people, but blonder, I don't know. And then I thought, oh, legally blonde. Can I find a way to fit that movie title into a joke? So thanks for joining me on that journey. Again, I do apologize, but not all the way apologized. Don't ever think I saw the second Legally Blonde movie, but I did see the first one. I thought it was cute. How do I change marker colors as the color of the paper changes? As the color of this paper changes, or if I were changed to like a green sheet of paper or a pink sheet of paper. Often it depends on how dark the paper is. If the paper is dark, then I'm going to move to a darker color. So like the skin tones here, I started with the E00. If this paper was darker, like say maybe like a shade of blue, let me just grab, or let's say purple. If I were to switch to purple, I would use a darker shade. I'd start to the E01, maybe E02 for his skin tones, because I need to account for the darker paper. I need darker marker colors to get to the next week. Hey, Robson Inc. is here. Hey, how's it going, Will? Everyone, Marvel artist and, artist for Todd McFarlane and other companies. Will Robson, so good to see you here, Will. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, go visit Robson Inc. and you will not be sorry. Tell him Todd Nauck sent you. Actually, he'll know Todd Nauck sent you because I just said Todd Nauck sent you and he's here and heard it. So hope things are all going well for you in England. I think England just has opened up some of the restrictions, some of the COVID restrictions, to where y'all can like go into pubs and stuff. Pubs and Stuff was probably my favorite pub that I went to when I was there. It was a Sid and Marty Krofft themed pub with, you know, Sigmund the Sea Monster. Pubs and Stuff was such a great place. If you're ever in England, check out Pubs and Stuff and tell them Todd Nauck sent you. And I totally made that up. I do not know if there's a place called Pubs and Stuff. I was just making a joke based on Sid and Marty Krofft's HR Puffin Stuff. So there probably is not an establishment called Pubs and Stuff. If there is, oh, you're in deadline lockdown, Will. Gotcha. Yeah, I hear you there. I hear you there. I'm in deadline lockdown as well. Just taking about an hour today to come and do a little San Diego Comic-Con at home. Coming in with some cool gray here to... Actually, I forgot I'm using colored paper. It's been so long since I've done a Post-it note with y'all, I forgot my trick. I use a darker shade of cool gray for any place that's going to be white, and I'll be coming in with my white pencil to color over that later. So, going to do that. Oh, I need to color his harness. So I'm going to come in with some neutral gray, bring in the nooch. So I'm going to come in with some neutral 5. It's kind of the base gray. You're the stuff in Pubs and Stuff. Yes, Will. Yes, you are. Oh, that's funny. So let's see. Oh, and then some red. We need to drop in the red. Going to come in with a little R56. Just going to work dark to light. Going to need to refill this R56. Apparently, it's getting a little drained. A little R27. Have you been to the gym Pubs and Buff? No, but I've been to the I was going to make some joke about floor cleaning, like you buff a floor, but my brain is too much into the art to think of a joke, to try to structure a joke that deep, so I just totally ended up bailing. All right, let's throw in some shadows here, and then we'll throw in a little background. So I'm going to go to the, we'll try a little cool gray. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with cool gray 3. And drop in some, what I call quote-unquote realistic shadow. About as realistic as I get with my art style / Copic work, Copic marker skills. But I've always enjoyed a kind of slightly more cartoony style to my work and the works that I enjoy. Other artists I see, they were big influences on me. I like a style that kind of walks the line between on the spectrum. If you have realistic on this side, and then you have cartoony on this side, and you have the spectrum, I like to fall anywhere here in this portion between the realistic and the cartoony. You might find Alex Ross over here. You might find Fred Hembeck over here. The styles that fall right in here are some of my favorite. I still love stuff in the realistic. I still love stuff in the cartoony. But this actually looks like some sort of critter here. Like these are his eyes, his nose, like a little bat. Like a little bat And then you put some fangs in there, little chin, little. Just create a new little character there. That'll be going up for auction for hundreds of thousands of dollars here in the coming weeks. So look for this character creation. Post it sometime in the not too distant future. Another dad joke. Another dad joke. All right, so a little gray in the harness there, a little different shade of gray. Thanks for hanging out with me, gang. I know this is taking a little bit longer than I thought it would, but yeah, I don't know. I get to drawing, I get to having fun, I get to get chit-chatting with y'all, and I just lose track of time, but in a good way. Throw some gray in the hair there, just kind of in the parts furthest away from the light source. All right, now I want to do some sort of background here, and I've kind of got an idea of what I want to do. Let's see if I can pull it off. I might totally mess this up, but y'all don't mind hanging out with me. I appreciate that. Awesome, thank you. I'm gonna kind of try to create a sky with, let's see if I can work in a lightning bolt here, because, you know, when oh, you know what I should do, what I thought of doing, just a little extra detail would be fun. Let's just put the power sword back here, huh? Why not? Who's to say I can't? No one. I don't know. I guess Mattel could come in and say no. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, you gotta get the power sword. So you put the hilt right there, and then boom, power sword. Look at this. I'm already halfway done with drawing this power sword. Let's come in with some black micron, and let's grab the triangle here for the handle. Get some nice clean lines. I'm kind of giving it a little texture here. And then we have the hilt of the sword. I've got the kind of the end of the sword here. Then kind of put the grip of the sword. Since I said the light source was coming from above, I'm putting more of the lines here. Oops, make sure I stay in camera frame. Come on, Todd, this isn't your first live stream. Since the light source is coming from above, then this side would be the more shadow side, so we're going to see more of the shadow in the grip there. Are we still on the pubs and stuff thing? We got Wolverine goes to Bubs and stuff. Oh my goodness. Y'all keep riffing on the pubs and stuff. Please feel free. It's fun to see. I was a little taken aback that it was still going on. I'm glad it struck a chord with you, the viewers. So I'm using some neutral gray, a little neutral gray 3 on the hilt there, and here on the grip, a little neutral 5. We'll come back with that neutral 3. So just that one little detail there has now given so much more to this character. No hot sauce stream? No hot sauce stream. So we did not reach, that Clamp Champ video did not reach 10,000 views by July 4th, 2021. So that was the benchmark we needed to hit to unlock the hot sauce art live stream. So there's still a chance for hot sauce art live stream if this video, we'll say if this video can hit 10,000 views by, let's say August 15th, 2021. I know that's a tight time frame. I know that's tight, but if this video, this He-Man art live stream can hit 10,000 views by August 15th, 10 a.m. Pacific time, August 15th, 2021, I will do the hot sauce art live stream where I draw in with hot sauce, where I color with hot sauce. I'll do a brand new illustration and I will tone it out with hot sauce. With McElhenney's brand hot sauce, or any other. So now I'm going to do this background here. So I'm going to start with some B52. It's kind of this purplish, dark purplish indigo sort of shade. A little bit of a grayish tone to it. Let's come in with a little B354. And I'm going to switch over to a little more vibrant shade of purple. Let's try a V06. Yeah, the purple goes really nice with the against the blonde hair there. Let's just pull this all the way up into that BV. Switch over to a little V04. I'm going to try something tricky here. It's either going to go really right or really wrong. But hey, I've never let that stop me in the past. I'm going to try throwing in some green here. White outline soon? Oh, someone knows my finishing move. Absolutely. White outline is coming up. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss the white outline. Some YG03. Just to give a real otherworldly sort of look to the sky behind him. Signature in the top left corner. I was thinking more here in the bottom right, actually. But nice call, nice call. I like the way you're thinking. Let's try a little BG34 here. It's kind of this bluish gray, bluish green, kind of to build the transition. All right, so, oh, I needed to find my white pencil. There it is. Yay, I didn't lose it. I thought I might have lost it. I flipped my office around. I don't know if y'all can really tell at the beginning of the live stream, the background was a little different. So I've had to invert my entire video setup. I flipped my office around so that I could have my drafting table here next to my window. I was asking a friend of mine who does, so I'm coming in with the white here into the eyes. Doesn't show up quite as well because this is a light colored Post-it, but here in real life, it's making a difference here. I'm using some white watercolor pencil to put white in the eyes. Now, if this was like on a darker colored Post-it, you'd really see that coming to playing out there, but in this case, not so much. Notice I want to add a little more of this R11 to his nose. Just want to sculpt around where that white highlight on his nose would be. All right, almost done. See, I think the background here kind of gives a Snake Mountain sort of feel. So kind of what I was going for. I know Snake Mountain is where technically Skeletor lives, but He-Man has to sometimes bring the fight to Skeletor, so he's going to be in that part of Eternia where it's a little more purpley and green. I just really am doing it more so for the complement like his hair and skin tones as the background to help make He-Man pop. So, lastly, finishing move. The Uniball Signo, which can be read upside down or right side up. White gel pan. Gel pan? No, this is not a pan, it's a pen. Snake Mountain was your nickname in high school. Will Robson. Oh my gosh. I don't even know how you came about that nickname. So this is my finishing move for the putting that white outline around the character. Just bringing this right next to that darker line, the inked line. Don't want to go over the inked line. I want to avoid that as much as possible. It's okay if I do a little bit, but my intention is to bring it right next to that line and create this white outline. Just going all the way around the perimeter. All right, now I had mentioned the lightning bolt. Here it comes, babies. Lightning bolt. Cracking down from behind He-Man. Kind of breaking it up a little bit for a little bit of that electric vibe. Will I be doing Post-it note sketches all days of SDCC at home? I'm hoping to. I plan to tomorrow, either around 9 a.m. or 1 p.m. Eastern time. I mean, Pacific time. Please forgive me. Pacific time. It all depends on my schedule. So it'll either be in the morning here on the West Coast or the afternoon here on the West Coast. So make sure you're subscribed to me here and set your notifications to alert you. And also stay tuned to my social media. I will be posting announcements like, hey, got the live stream scheduled. That is the plan. I'm hoping for Saturday. Saturday might be rough for me, and not sure about Sunday. So at least one more. But if I can get a third one in, that would be great as well. So it all just depends on my schedule, unfortunately. But yeah. And it will be another Masters of the Universe character as we look forward to the debut and enjoy the debut of Masters of the Universe Revelation on Netflix starting tomorrow, the 23rd of July. So thicker lightning bolt from the sky, and then it kind of trails off and down. Now I don't want to go too far down here because this is where I was going to put my art signature, my Post-it signature. All right, there we go. Oh, and then let's see, I want to put a little bit of this white in the highlight of his eye. Just give him gives a little cacao. GMTers, you're either 7 or 8 hours ahead of us here in California. So, whenever I post my time, if I forget to put in the Greenwich Mean Time, you can just grab whatever time I put in and convert from Pacific time to your time zone in Google, and it should tell you the exact time that I will be streaming. So I notice I want to come in here and just adjust his eyelids. Just want to beef up the line just a little bit more. I think a little of the ink came up when I erased. So I just want to make sure the black of his eyelid and his pupils are a little stronger, just to really set those eyes in there. Okay, and now lastly is to put my name and today's date. So on Post-it notes, I just do my last name. Because there's not a lot of space. And then today's date, which is the 22nd of July, 2021. And there we go. He-Man. So much fun to do. Don't often get to draw He-Man. And yeah, this was fun. So gang, thanks so much for tuning in with me. I'll see you hopefully tomorrow as I draw another Masters of the Universe character here on a Post-it note. So yeah, I hope y'all are doing well, and I look forward to seeing y'all again real soon. If this is your first time here to my channel, make sure you click the subscribe button, then you can tap the bell to set your notifications. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked what you saw. Please give me a thumbs up, and feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below if this is your first time, or if you're watching this after the live stream. If you're watching this on replay, feel free to leave a comment. To all you viewers here watching on the live stream, thanks for all the comments. Thanks for the questions. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm sorry I couldn't answer everybody's question, but I do appreciate everyone hanging out. Will Robson, always good to see you, my friend, and look forward to seeing y'all all probably tomorrow. So till then, everybody stay well, take care, and have a great day. Bye-bye.